Hi everyone, my name is Emil. I'm with the Alanic Lab. Today I'm going to do a quick little tutorial on how to navigate through Endnote. So once you have it downloaded and set up and whatnot, let's say you want to cite a paper. I'll have this. That's going to pop up in your downloads. You just click it and it'll automatically log itself here. Take the title. Let's say you want to cite it right here. Just click Insert Citation. Then you select wherever. And it should pop up. Duplicates actually will register the same no matter what. The record number will change, but regardless of which one you cite, if you cite one in the same paper and then a little later you end up citing the different reference number, that'll still be merged and will have the same reference number. So you'll just click Insert right there. And likewise, let's say you want to go over to a second paper. You click this right here, Citation. It'll register here as a .ris. And you go over here, click Insert Citation again, the title, click Insert right there. And now what ends up happening is I already have a selected style. I updated it specifically with how it's formatted. So let's say you want to get the journal to abbreviate correctly. So this is what's known in Endnote as a term list. So that comes in right here under define term list or open term list. You go over to journals term list, and then you'll end up having this little pop-up box that has all these options pop up. So you end up having the full journal and the abbreviated with a period and the abbreviated without a period, because different journals will have different requirements. So let's say, well, firstly, how do you get these? Well, if you navigate over to Safari, you could look up Endnote journal term list, chemistry download, and you'll end up having this pop up, but sometimes they won't all pop up. Like if you have some really niche journals, they may not show up. So you could always browse around and try to get the most. So let's say, for example, you have inorganic chemistry. How do you, let's say you don't have it, right? Or let's say you need to edit it. So you could edit the term inorganic chemistry and then check the abbreviations here. Another way, let's say you want, let's say, I don't know where it went. I think it broke. Where was I? Perfect. Let's say you want to make a new term, right? For example, Journal of American Chemical Society. Actually, that may not be it. It might be the Journal of the American Chemical Society. Regardless, you know, you'd insert the abbreviation here, preferably without any spelling mistakes. Bring it over here, and it's commonly known that, you know, as long as you remove the periods, it's the same, and that's pretty much it. Now, let's say you don't know an abbreviation. Where do you get it from? Well, there is a website with commonly abbreviated terms. I have it stored somewhere. It may just be here somewhere, actually. Hopefully I could just pull it up. Let's see. So, here's the website for abbreviations. All you have to do is look up either the title or the abbreviation. So let's say you want to find JACS, which is the Journal of the American Chemical Society, and JACS AU ends up coming up. So that's not what we're looking for. There we go. Journal, American Chemical Society. And a lot of these, they have patterns. Let's say you need something more niche. Sometimes they do come up, sometimes they don't. For example, digital discovery may not show up And oh, it does. But the abbreviated title, it would be digit disk. So that you could usually look up on the page. Let's say there's discovery abbreviation. Sometimes you could find it here. Other places they include it. Sometimes they don't. It could also just be on the website itself of the journal. So that's how you would add it and adjust that there. Let's say you want to adjust your format. So each journal will have a specific style. Let's say sometimes you can download the style and you could just import it pretty easily. Let's say you want to edit it because it doesn't come out correctly. So what you would do is, firstly, you would get, let's say for the Journal of American Chemical Society again, it's good practice just to check, firstly, let's do Jack's style format citations. Right, so you can find in the original page, tells you the journal articles, and these will all be pretty particular. So this would be sort of the end all be all here. But we also want to double check how specific journals will have their references. So some references, some of their journals will be a little different, and you really just want to make sure that you take that into account. So let's see if I have a Jack's paper here. There we go. Let's say you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom, the references, and boom, we can already see a pretty generic format. We have the author, last name, comma, first initial. In the case of three, for example, in the case of middle initial, Geisler, first initial, middle initial, semicolon, right? You want to subscript the stoichiometry of the compound, italicize, and first abbreviation of the journal, and then you have the title, page numbers at the end, no DOI, year is bolded, article numbers italicized, or what is this? Well, whatever it may be. It may be issue, article, or issue, whatever. We'll get into that later. So, let's say you want to, you can always download the style guide, right? And we're done here. So we could close it. Where was I? Yes, you want to adjust. Here we go. So you pick the style. Let's say you selected the ACS 2021 or the ACS or whatever preset is here. You would go to edit. Okay, I can't zoom it in on it. And what's really the biggest thing here is you just go to templates and you adjust this accordingly, right? So it's a little bit of code based, a little not. So if you pull up the original one, let's just make sure it matches, right? So you have the author, you have the title, you have the journal in italics, right? And that's good. You have the year bolded, you have the volume italicized, the issue is in parentheses, the pages, type of article, and from database, provider, name of database. And most of the time you'll be able to just download these style guides and it'll show up pretty much automatically. I'm not sure if you do have to configure it. Now, the next important part that you go to, because the template is going to be doing the bulk of the work here. That's really if you want to optimize it. What you end up wanting to do after is not the layout. Let's see. Actually, I think this is it. Well, anyways, you want to make sure everything works out correctly, right? So you want to make sure when you download the RIS, you know, the volume is selected, the issue is there, the pages are there, the date is correct, everything is how it's supposed to be. So if we double check the style, you'll notice a couple of things. You know, there are ways to adjust the template, and you could always look it up and get into it. So for example, let's say I want to add the DOI. I think there's a particular way. Yes, there we go. Get the DOI and then DOI number. So there shouldn't be DOI here, right? Because it already says, okay, DOI will be added because it's in these little things, and it'll add DOI. And this is sort of the identifier that it'll add the DOI and there, and then it'll add a period, right? So let's say we want to do this. Okay. So we'll click Update Citations, and the DOI will come. And just like that, we end it, save it, update the citations, and everything will fit into place. Now, there are some things to keep in mind when you're working with these. You're going to want to subscript manually. I'm not sure if there's a way to... I mean, there's definitely a way, but it's just easier, I find, to select it individually, because at that point, you also will, you know, manually scan it. Another thing is that these will be hyphens rather than dashes. So if you want to do that, if you want to replace the dashes with hyphens, you would go to, let's see. Oh, what would you do? You'd edit reference. There's a particular way to do it. Ah, advanced search. Now, I think you're gonna want to do... So, to do this, you're gonna want to go to edit. And I definitely didn't look up a video. Why don't I have find and replace? Uh-oh. Edit. Uh-oh. Find and replace. Now you could select the field to just be pages. You look for the M dash and you substitute it. Actually, you look for the hyphen and you substitute it with an N dash. And that would be, let's see, just like this. Now you change it. Correct. Good. Now that's saved. Always do Command S on Mac. And now you'll see this. Uh-oh. There we go. Hyphen has been replaced with an N dash, and now you're in full compliance with whatever journal. Now, you want to make sure everything is done because, for example, before you italicize and go through all the nitty-gritty, when you do update citations, it'll undo it. Now, how do you avoid that? You turn instant formatting off so that while you keep adding, it won't change. But I find it best at the end of everything to, you know, do the things that you really can't do with Endnote, or it's more finicky, like subscripting numbers, because there are ways where you could subscript every number. I guess there are ways you could subscript numbers just in the title, but I'd rather not really go through with that because there are numbers in the title in which won't apply to the specific formula. So that is pretty much a quick run through on how to use Endnote, and I'll end it here. Feel free to respond in the comments with any questions, concerns, queries. Of course, this isn't meant to be an end-all be-all to how to use Endnote. There are more particularities, and I will continue the series with how to use other reference managers and go from there. So thank you for tuning in.